Cate Blanchett stands as one of the most formidable talents in modern cinema, a woman whose piercing intelligence, transformative acting, and commanding presence have made her a global icon. From indie stages in Australia to the grandest stages of Hollywood and Europe, Blanchett has navigated her career with the confidence and precision of a master artist. Her story is one of intellect, vision, artistry, and deep personal conviction, making her one of the most respected and compelling figures in the history of film and theater. Catherine Elise Blanchett was born on May 14, 1969, in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, the middle child of June and Robert Blanchett. Cate grew up in a household that blended modesty with curiosity. Her father, an American Navy officer turned advertising executive, died of a sudden heart attack when Cate was just 10 years old. His passing left a profound impact on her, fueling her emotional sensitivity and shaping her views on mortality and purpose from a young age. Her mother, a strong and supportive figure, raised Cate and her two siblings while working as a schoolteacher and property developer. As a child, Cate was imaginative, introverted, and often lost in books. She was fascinated by the world beyond Australia and became particularly drawn to cinema and theater. At the University of Melbourne, she initially studied economics and fine arts, but soon abandoned those paths when she realized her heart belonged to storytelling and performance. Blanchett made a bold move when she enrolled at the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA, in Sydney, one of the most prestigious drama schools in Australia. There she honed her craft, immersing herself in classical texts and character work. Even among a highly competitive student body, Blanchett stood out. Her performances were electric, deeply studied, and emotionally nuanced. After graduating in 1992, Cate quickly began working in Australian theatre. Her early stage work with the Sydney Theatre Company included standout roles in productions like Electra and Kafka Dances, the latter earning her the Sydney Theatre Critics Circle's Best Newcomer Award. Her portrayal of Ophelia in Hamlet confirmed her as one of the most promising young talents on the stage. Cate's film debut came in 1997 with Paradise Road, a war drama featuring Glenn Close and Frances McDormand. Though her role was relatively small, Blanchett held her own alongside established names. That same year, she starred in Oscar and Lucinda, earning critical acclaim and her first major recognition on the international stage. However, it was her performance as Queen Elizabeth I in Elizabeth 1998 that catapulted her to global stardom. Blanchett's portrayal of the young monarch's transformation from uncertain teenager to commanding ruler was magnetic. The performance earned her her first Academy Award nomination and a BAFTA Award for Best Actress. At just 29, she had arrived. Rather than chasing mainstream Hollywood fame, Blanchett remained selective, choosing roles that challenged and intrigued her. She worked with a wide range of directors across genres, proving her versatility time and again. In 2001, she took on the role of Galadriel in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, a part that introduced her to a massive global audience. With ethereal grace and majestic authority, her portrayal of the Elven Queen became iconic. That same year, she starred in Bandits, Charlotte Gray, and The Shipping News, displaying her uncanny ability to disappear into radically different characters. Whether playing a Southern con artist, a British spy in Nazi-occupied France, or a struggling woman in a Newfoundland fishing village, Blanchett approached each role with intellectual rigor and emotional depth. In 2004, Cate Blanchett won her first Academy Award for portraying Katharine Hepburn in Martin Scorsese's The Aviator. Capturing Hepburn's wit, cadence, and spirit, Blanchett gave a performance that was more than mimicry, it was a revelation. Her Oscar win made her the first person ever to win an Academy Award for playing another Oscar-winning actor. Over the next several years, Blanchett's reputation as a fearless, genre-defying actress only grew. She played Bob Dylan in I'm Not There 2007, a performance that earned her another Oscar nomination and global acclaim. She tackled Shakespeare, played real-life figures like Veronica Guerin, and took bold risks with experimental projects like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Babel, and Notes on a Scandal. Beyond film, Blanchett's devotion to theater remained strong. From 2008 to 2013, she served as co-artistic director of the Sydney Theatre Company alongside her husband, playwright and screenwriter Andrew Upton. Under their leadership, the company expanded its international presence and artistic scope. Blanchett continued performing on stage in critically acclaimed productions like A Streetcar Named Desire, Uncle Vanya, and The Maids, Her performances were hailed as masterclasses in live acting, and her contribution to Australian theatre is considered monumental. Cate Blanchett's second Oscar win came in 2014 for her role in Woody Allen's Blue Jasmine. As Jasmine, a New York socialite unraveling after losing her fortune and status, Blanchett delivered a performance filled with pathos, vulnerability, and delusion. It was widely considered one of the finest performances of the decade and cemented her status as one of the greatest living actresses. Never content to stay in one mode, Blanchett continued to push boundaries. She played villainous roles in Cinderella, 2015, and Thor Ragnarok, 2017, where she brought theatrical flair and depth to otherwise straightforward characters. Her turn as Hela in Ragnarok introduced her to Marvel fans and showcased her physicality and sense of fun. In Carol 2015, Blanchett delivered a quiet, smoldering performance as a closeted woman in 1950s America. Opposite Rooney Mara, the film was a landmark in queer cinema, and Cate's portrayal was celebrated for its restraint, longing, and emotional richness. Though she was again nominated for an Oscar, many felt she was robbed of a third win. Throughout her career, Blanchett has made her mark not just as an actress but as an advocate. She has spoken out on gender equality, the climate crisis, the refugee crisis, and the need for diversity in the arts. In 2018, she served as president of the Cannes Film Festival jury, where she led a historic red carpet protest against gender inequality in the film industry. She's worked with the United Nations as a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees visiting refugee camps and using her global platform to raise awareness about displaced communities. Her humanitarian work is deeply personal and grounded in a sense of justice and empathy that mirrors her character-driven work as an actress. In 2020, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Blanchett remained active in supporting the arts. She spoke out about the importance of theater, music, and film during crises, and participated in online readings and charity events to raise money for struggling artists and organizations. In 2022, Blanchett starred in Tar, a psychological drama about a fictional female conductor of a prestigious orchestra who faces a public reckoning amid allegations of misconduct. The role was unlike anything she had done before, layered, cerebral, and morally ambiguous. Blanchett's performance was a tour de force, earning her a Volpe Cup at the Venice Film Festival, a BAFTA, a Golden Globe, and another Academy Award nomination. As Tar resonated deeply with the Me Too era's complex conversations about power, responsibility, and redemption, Cate Blanchett stood at the center not just as a performer, but as a thinker, challenging audiences to wrestle with difficult truths. Blanchett's private life remains grounded and relatively out of the public eye. She and Andrew Upton have 4 children, and she's known for fiercely protecting their privacy. The couple has divided their time between Australia and the UK, maintaining homes that allow them to balance family life with their artistic pursuits. Throughout her career, Blanchett has received numerous honors, multiple Oscars, BAFTAs, Golden Globes, and more. She has been named a Companion of the Order of Australia, one of the country's highest honors, and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But perhaps her most impressive accolade is the universal respect she commands across the industry for her intelligence, dignity, and integrity. Cate Blanchett is not merely a movie star. She is a cultural force, a woman who sees acting as a means of exploring humanity in all its contradictions. She has played queens and criminals, saints and seductresses, real people and mythical ones, and in every performance, she finds truth subtle, searing, and profound. Whether on stage in Sydney, on screen in Hollywood, or on humanitarian missions across the globe, Cate Blanchett has built a life and career that reflect a commitment to excellence, curiosity, and compassion. She is that rare artist whose influence transcends genre, generation, and geography. And as she continues to shape cinema, culture, and the conversation around art and ethics, one thing remains clear: Cate Blanchett is, and always will be, a once-in-a-generation talent.